Hello, hello. I hope that y'all are well. Do me a favor and put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me clearly. No, it's not posted. Oh no. I can't pin my comment. Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me clearly. Hello, hello, hello. I hope that you all are well. Oh. Hello. Today we're going to be diving into the essence within decoding your feminine psychological blueprint. Hey, my love. Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me clearly, and also put in the comments where you're watching me from, okay? Where are you watching from tonight? Awesome. Hey, Houston. I can't wait to make my way back. Sheesh. Yes, it will. Is it Emmy? Yes, it will. Hey, Indiana. Hey, Georgia. Thank you for this gift. All right, y'all. This live, I'm going to tell you, this live is going to be for specific type of women, okay? So once I drop this list, if you know somebody who needs this, make sure that you share it with them so they can make sure that they don't miss this live. This is for women who are feeling disconnected from their authentic true selves. This is for women who deal with issues around confidence and doubt, especially around expressing your femininity in a very authentic way. This is for women who struggle with emotional imbalance, mood swings, anxiety, or societal pressures. And this is for women who are actually seeking guidance and support in navigating growth in these specific type of areas via the self-discovery journey, and specifically trying to the woman who wants to, I'll say that, embrace her feminine essence. So if that's you, this is going to be the live for you, because what I'm going to do is that I'm going to unveil the essence within by supporting you in decoding your feminine psychological blueprint, which is very, very important. The reason why it's important is because as a woman, you have to understand the three dynamics of yourself, okay? So when I say the three dynamics of yourself, how you operate spiritually, how you operate biologically, scientifically, and how you operate psychologically is very, very important as a woman, okay? So I'm going to break down the psychological aspect today because it's very, very important. And the reason why it's so important is because those cycles that you find yourself repeating over and over again, they tend to manifest in the form of psychological cycles. These toxic cycles that's coming from a place of what's happening here, what's happening here. And so I'm going to break that down today because there are three key areas, okay, or three cycles that you have to pay attention to in order to really start doing the work to heal, okay, the psychological aspect of self. All right. So I'm going to tap into that today. But before I get into any of that, the first thing I need you to know is I need you to know your value. So I need you to know that you are high level currency. And what I mean by high level currency I'm saying that you are time, energy, attention, and money. Okay. What I'm saying is that you are made up of, can I talk today? Kairos time and Chronos time, okay? And Kairos time and Chronos time are two different types of time that are extremely important when it comes down to you understanding how you operate as a woman. Okay, so the first thing you need to be clear on is that you have your chronological time of why you're here, your seconds, your minutes, your days, your years, your hours that you're going to be here on this earth. And then you also have something called Kairos time, and your Kairos time is actually the time of like your ebbs and your flows. So it speaks about your seasons, your ups, your downs, all of that type of stuff. Okay, so you got to understand that those two things exist and they exist within you. So it's very important for you to be clear on these things so you know how to maneuver and so that you don't actually waste time. You actually know how to steward your time because you understand that you are made up of time. You are also energy, okay? And when I say that you are energy, the energy within you is divine. So what I need for you to do is to stop being a good-hearted person for everyone. What I need you to do is stop being a people pleaser. What I need you to do is stop exerting the energy that is within you to any and everyone just for any form of attention or any form of anything else. Okay? You've got to understand that you being a kind person is not an invitation for you to do any and everything for everyone else and do nothing for yourself. It is not an invitation for you to dishonor yourself by allowing people to run over you, okay, by you not having any boundaries. There is no such thing as you flexing about having a big heart if your boundaries are not bigger, okay? So you need to understand that you are energy. And when I hear women say things like, well, I feel like this person wasted my energy, they just drained my energy. How did they get it? Because no one can drain something that they don't have access to. So why is it that this drainer of your energy that is divine still has, why is it that this person still has access to you? They shouldn't have any type of access to you if they are a person, or if this is a person who devalues you or drains your energy. Okay? So the energy you have to understand that you are carrying within yourself is kingdom energy. It literally tells you that the kingdom of heaven is within you according to Luke 17:21. You have the God frequency within you. And you don't even realize that, but people see your value and people see your worth and you don't see it, which is why they are so attracted to you, and you become their victim because it's so easy to drain your energy because you don't see the value in it. You don't understand the divineness within it. And because you don't understand that principle, you don't operate that way, and they see that. So you would easy lick to a narcissist. You would easy lick to a person who is a user. And I know that we want to say, well, people shouldn't use and people shouldn't do these things and people should operate a certain kind of way. But here's the reality. We live in a world where the majority of people don't. And you are going to have to operate from the space of discernment. And you can't do that when you don't understand that you are energy. Your energy is divine. And for you not to place it in spaces where it's not valued. Okay? So understand that you are energy. That's the second thing. And understand that the energy within you is divine. All right? The third thing you need to understand is that you also are attention. And when I say that you are attention, I'm saying literally, right? That you are... How can I say this? You are a commodity. If you are on a social media platform, okay, and you're not producing on that platform, or you don't own that platform, or you're more of a consumer of that platform, you literally are the product, okay? They're focusing their attention on you. You literally are attention, because they know if they can tap into your attention, what they actually can do is that they can get you to buy into things because they have your attention. And what people don't understand about you being attention is this: whatever has your attention has the potential to manipulate your energy and motion. By definition, emotions, by definition, is energy and motion. The more you give your attention to someone who does not desire you and want you in real time, the more you manipulate your own energy and motion in thinking that this person is going to shift and change and want to be with you, because you tend to do more and be more in those spaces for them, when in reality that's not going to happen because they don't value you giving them that attention. And you continue to give that attention away because you don't value your own attention. You don't value your own focus. Focus is a skill set that is required. It literally has to be fine-tuned. It's a skill set. And so if you don't understand how to focus, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to make money in this upcoming era. In the era that we're already in. Because let me put y'all on game. Because I think y'all really think it's a joke that these people keep talking about. I told y'all in February. I told y'all last year and the year before that there was a great divide coming. The great divide has already started and it's halfway at its mark. Okay? There are women who are sitting in a space of mediocrity, and there are women who are literally operating from a space of mastery and putting themselves in positions to make sure that they are winning in the next 20 years. Let me be very clear with you. All that programming that you got about working hard and hustling, all that stuff is going to make you sick and put you in a position to get played. You cannot outwork a robot. These folks are creating robots. I'm just going to put you on game. Go and check out, I think it's the 2045 initiative is one of them. You can look at Project 2025. You need to be looking to see what's happening in your world, especially in your country. Because here's the thing, you can't outwork a robot. And you can't, as you see, you can't outwit AI. Chat GTP and everything else that's coming out and doing all this stuff. You can't outwork a robot, and you cannot outwit AI. And what I am telling you is that if you are not grounded and rooted in your creator, and if you don't really know how you're going to be maneuvering and how you're going to thrive in this upcoming society, you got a problem. You got a problem. I watched a video today that someone showed me, and it blew my mind. I didn't even think I was going to go here, but I'm going to go ahead and give y'all this, and I promise this is the only part I'm going to give y'all about this one right here, because I don't want to get too much and get banned. But I'm going to tell you this. I watched a video today that someone showed me of Alaska offering people $15,000 to $20,000 to come in housing to come and work for them for a period of time, right? So people would go down there, and so the girl was showing where she actually was living. And it basically looked like a slave type of camp. Didn't I tell y'all months ago that these corporations are going to start doing things to get to a point where they're going to create campuses so you can live on, because people are not going to be able to afford to live? They're going to make it their business to make sure you have a place to live, because you're going to be outpriced out of everything. See, if you don't have the skill set, you're going to be off. So you're going to be outpriced on a multitude of things. So you won't even be able to afford to live. So your job is going to, that whole work from home thing, yeah, y'all really going to see it, because they're going to create spaces. So as I'm watching this video, I'm literally looking at this look like some form of a boot camp living that she is living in, where they're giving them this money and they literally are working for 12 hours. Baby, these folks setting y'all up for slavery once again, but in a brand new way. And you don't even see it coming, because you think you got to work twice as hard. You're focusing your attention on the wrong thing. And because your attention is focused on the wrong thing, your energy is going there, your time is going there, and you ain't got no money, and you ain't going to have no resources, and you ain't going to have nothing to position and play when things start moving and shaking, and you'll have no choice but to submit to the systems of slavery, because you ain't tapped in. Because you don't believe that your time, you don't believe that your energy, you don't believe that your attention. So you doggone sure don't believe that your money. Let's get into that. Let's get into that. According to scripture, according to Proverbs 8 and 12, you literally have creative and witty inventions in your very being. You being broke is a choice. It's a decision that you are making with your mind. And when you make that decision in your mind that started with your lack of belief in the spirit, once it hits you in your mind, it starts to ache you in your heart, because you can't seem to come up with anything to be able to create more income for yourself. So you begin to exhaust yourself to oblivion by doing a multitude of things, because you don't really understand that you have creative and witty inventions within your very being, because your mind won't quiet down enough from the anxiety that you are dealing with, because you feel like you don't have, which is due to your lack of belief. You sit in a space of anxiety and you procrastinate, or you overwhelm yourself to the space to where you can't get anything done. So you don't even have the mind or the capacity to create an opportunity for yourself to be able to attract more income, because you're too busy worried about something. You're too busy worried about money that you're not getting any. And the reason why a lot of people are in trouble and are going to continue to be in trouble, and why they're going to become slaves to these systems, like I'm talking about, like the video I saw, because they're not done. And just free game, y'all. Y'all do know that these corporations, let me sit up for this one, because I want y'all know when I get close, I'm serious. Y'all have been paying attention to these investment groups buying these apartment complexes. You have been paying attention to these investment groups buying all these houses and property and land up. Do you think that's a coincidence? They're going to outprice you. And if you don't have skills that's going to pay the bills, you're going to be a slave to their corporation. And when you can't afford to have somewhere to live, they're going to say, you can stay here on our campus, and it's going to sound good. And it's going to look good initially, and they're going to play you. You are literally going to position yourself for slavery. Y'all don't have to believe me, But when it happened and you come back to this video and it be on YouTube and you like she said that, you gonna remember I'm not lying. This is what happens when you overexalt. You can't outwork a robot. Once again, you can't outwit AI. You are going to have to get in body and get into co-creation mode with your creator to see how you're going to thrive in this upcoming society, because all the methodologies that have worked beforehand don't work. Guess what? I'm a 40-year-old millennial. They told me to go to school. I got a bachelor's and master's and some doctoral work. They told me that I was going to get a good job. Didn't get one, so I created a business from the ground up. They told me that I would be able to get the American dream. It didn't happen. A lot of us as millennials got slapped in the face. And we are faced with the reality that we've been lied to. We've been bamboozled. We've been played with, and it's playing on our psyche. But you don't have time to stay in that space. Yes, they played us. What are you going to do? Because this thing is going to continue moving. Nothing is getting cheaper. If you miss them days of old gas prices and old food prices, those days are over with. This is the cheapest it's going to be right now. I'm telling you, this is the cheapest it's going to be right now. If you don't understand that you are time, energy, attention, and money, mainly if you don't realize that you are the value and that money itself is made up of 75% cotton, 25% linen, if you don't realize that, so you can stop worshiping money and start understanding that you are the actual value that creates money. But the way you create money for yourself is understanding your internal value, that you are time, energy, attention, and money. So you don't waste time, energy, attention, and money unless it's activating and bringing you or adding more time, energy, attention, and money to you. So when you have that mindset, you take money off the pedestal, which automatically breaks the curse if you have been a lover of money, which is the root of all evil. When you take it off the pedestal and stop worshiping it, working 50 million jobs trying to get it, and you get into your bag, which is your real frequency, the frequency that you were created with, the God frequency, Luke 17:21, that says the kingdom of heaven within you. When you really tap into that bag, you begin to realize that peace is the real bag. And when you begin to create from a space of spiritual fruits like peace, like joy, like love, that's how you can create the life you want. You can't create the life you want in a state of anxiety. You can't create the life you want in a state of fear. That's not how this goes. How do you break from those things first? By understanding that you're high level currency. You are time, you are energy, you are attention, and you are money. We don't worship these things. You properly steward these things so that you can extend these things or expand these things. It's very simple. So put in the comments for me, I am high level currency, because I need you to understand your value before I even break down the whole psychological aspect of your feminine design. Okay? Because you need to understand this so that you can operate in the way that is authentic to you. So put in the comments for me, I am high level currency. In order to create external value, you have to understand your internal value. And I'm saying this to you as a person who built a business from the ground up. I built a 6-figure business from the ground up, and I did not hustle. And it didn't take me forever to do. When I got real life focus, I was able to get it done. The hardest part is doing the inner work as you're going. But when you really realize and understand that money is just an energetic experience, like it's nothing for you to get. There's 3 frequencies of money, okay? Anybody, first level is getting money. Anyone can get money. You got a 2-week job, you got a 2-week check, you can get money. You a robber, you a scammer, you can get money. Getting money is nothing. It's the lowest level. It's the lowest level frequency when it comes down to you having money, okay? So money, getting money, anybody could do that. The second level is being able to manage money. People tend to stay right here at the management level of money because they become money hoarders. These are the people that may have grown up in poverty, so they understand what it's like to not have and to really be in lack, and they want to do every single thing in their power to never go back to their space again. So they hold on to their money. I mean, they got money sitting in the bank. It's just sitting. It's barely collecting that little 2-cent interest on it. And then it seems like as soon as they get whatever they want saved in that account, something happens that causes them to have to spend that money, and they're right back at it, trying to make sure that they don't go back under. That is a hoarder's mentality. When you have a hoarder's mentality, when it comes down to your money, you tend not to receive any money. It's like holding your hand like this and expecting somebody to pay you. No one is going to pay you when you continue to hold your hand like this, which is why you stay at the second level of money. Yes, you have money to be able to do your basic stuff, but things continue to come along and something seems to always happen and you can't keep it because you're trying to hold it so tight. And anything that you hold on to so tight eventually is going to break away from you, because you should have nothing in your hands that grip that tight, because you are not to be attached to anything in this world, because nothing in this world is permanent. Everything in this world has an expiration date, including water. So you can't possibly think that whatever you are holding on to that you are going to be able to keep. This is not that. For life, you ain't nobody gonna never touch it. This is not the way it goes. Okay, so understand that about yourself so that you can get to the third level frequency of money, which is the flow of money. People who are in the flow of money don't chase money. They literally attract money by being in alignment. And they also are great stewards of what they are given. One thing for sure, two things for certain about me. Anytime I get, I give. Anytime I get, I give. And the reason why I do that, because I understand spiritual law. And I understand how to keep the flow going. The Most High don't tell you in scripture to be a cheerful giver for nothing. You can't be a cheerful giver if you're giving your last $20, because you're going to get mad at this person for not giving you their last $20 when you feel like it's your turn to collect. You can't give cheerfully when it is of your last. You can't give time cheerfully when you're exhausted. You can't give energy when you are just broken down. You can't give attention to something when you can't give cheerfully when you are serving on fumes and serving from your last. So you should not do that. So again, thank you, my love, for these gifts. Anytime I get, I give. So the reason why it's important for you to be a cheerful giver is because it also tells you in scripture that it's better to give than to receive. Well, why is it better to give than to receive? Cheat code. The reason why it's better to give than to receive, the reason why it's so amazing to be a cheerful giver, because God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, ye shall reap. Y'all missed that though. See, y'all being so tight with your money. You're being so tight with things and holding on to things. And you can't even get the flow that is assigned to you because you won't release. Because you're so tight. Oh, I'm so glad I got this $100. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's going to be a long time before you get another one because you're holding on to it so tight, baby. If I get a $2,500 payment, $250 immediately is going off to somebody, whether it's a scholarship, whether it's this. Something is immediately going off to something. It's gifting. It's happening. And I'm not thinking about it. I don't have an attachment to whatever I'm giving either, because I already know it's coming back to me. I don't know when it's coming back, but how about I ain't missed a beat. I left my good government job at 35. I sit before you as a 40-year-old woman who literally built a business from the ground up, who ain't hustling. A part of my business model is giving back. I did a whole initiative last year where I invested in Black businesses every single month intentionally, because that was my intentional yearly give back. Y'all want to make 6 figures and stuff in y'all business. Y'all don't want to break nothing off. Crazy work. The Most High is not seeing you with the blessings like that. If you sow nothing, you reap nothing. That's how it goes. So the frequencies of money, getting money, managing it, the flow of it. Okay. All right. So now that you understand that aspect of it when it comes down to money, and you understand that aspect when it comes down to your value, I need you to understand that your belief impacts your biology, and your biology influences the way you behave. The topic of today is literally me going over and supporting you in decoding your feminine, the psychological aspect of your feminine design. Notice I didn't say the aspect of your femininity. Ain't quite the same thing. I speak and I teach on femininity, but the core of what I teach is based on your feminine design, which is why when women come to work with me, they're able to ooze feminine energy when we're done, not because they're doing or being like me, but I get them in position in alignment with their authentic design. Because what femininity looks like for me is going to be different for the next queen. And how my feminine energy oozes and how it allures is going to be different from how this queen allures and how she magnetizes, okay? So it's very important that you're very clear and you understand that what you believe about yourself impacts your biology, okay? Which influences the way you behave. If you ever had a pregnancy scare, you already know what time it is. You had all this stuff, you got your nose, you throwing up, and the test, and you're not pregnant. Why is that? Because you tricked your body into believing that. So it started to behave in a way as if it was carrying life. That's how powerful your thoughts are. That's how powerful your thoughts are. Okay? So I'm going to break that information down a little bit more on today, that specifically, and I'm really excited about it so you guys can understand that aspect of yourself, because as a woman you should understand yourself on a spiritual level, a scientific level, and a psychological level. That is how you thrive. And everybody want to know how do you keep your vibration in the 3D realm, baby. You got to know how to bounce between the three. You got to know how, you got to have all three in balance. And most of the time when women come to me and they want to do this work, it's because one of them is completely imbalanced. And the majority of the time, it's the spiritual one that's out of balance, which is the main one that needs to be grounded. Because when you ground yourself spiritually, scientifically, these things come with that. And then psychologically, things shift. Okay? Everything that I teach is going to come from scripture, science, and psychology. All right? So it's very, very important that you understand that. Belief impacts biology, and biology influences the way that you behave. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this 3-part success strategy system. The last part is basically what I'm going to be diving in very deeply on tonight. Number one, when I talk about the success strategy system, a lot of people say that they want certain things. A lot of women come to me for different reasons. There are women who come to work with me because they want to make more money. There are women who come to work with me because they want to attract better relationships. There are women who come to work with me because they just want to change the trajectory of their lives. And I am a woman who teaches them through alchemy, basically, to shift their entire lives. I teach them how to transform their lives because I transform my own. Okay? So I've been doing this work for about 3 years. And one of the key things that I always tell people is that there's a success strategy to this if you want to be sustainable. If you just want to get money, if you just want to get a relationship, if you just want to get these things, I can help you get these things. But if you don't pay attention to this success strategy system, I can tell you that you will not keep these things. And if you don't believe me, simply look at all these celebrity scandals that keep coming out. There is one of these things that they violated, and it's the very reason why they're sitting in the position that they're sitting in right now. Okay? Because you don't get away with nothing on this earth. Because like I said, God is not mocked, for whatever man sows, ye shall reap. Might reap it 20 years from now, but it's coming. The bill always comes due. And we never need to forget that. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. So the first part of that success strategy is obedience to spiritual law. I just used the spiritual law when I said God is not mocked, for whatever man sows, ye shall reap. People use that when people piss them off. You're going to reap what you sow because you hurt me. That's the easiest and quickest thing that people love to do, because they love to call on God when they feel super, super offended. But you're not paying attention to how you're offending yourself. You're not paying attention to how you're calling these people into your experience with your own behavior. If you did not know, the universe that was created by the Almighty is an algorithm. It is the biggest responder that you know. Or maybe that you don't know. And if you don't know, now you know. The universe is an algorithm that literally responds to who you are truly. Not who you fake to be. Not them fake affirmations you be saying in the mirror. Not that phony persona that you play with your friends or for the gram or for TikTok. The universe is an algorithm that responds to you, your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, always paying attention, always in tune, never missing a beat. Never. Okay? Never missing a beat. And what you have to understand is that when you lie to yourself by saying things like, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to stay committed and I'm going to work out this year and I'm going to do that. And the minute that you don't honor those things that you said, this is why, and you need to pay attention to this. This is why you consistently attract partners who don't want to commit to you. You don't commit to yourself. If you don't commit to yourself, do not have an expectation to be rewarded with someone who is all about committing to you, because that is unequally yoked. And that's not real. And that's not sustainable. because you're not an energetic match for that type of relationship. We need to start being very, very honest with ourselves. The relationship that you have with yourself sets the tone for any and every relationship that you have with anyone else. I say it all the time. Self-care is the key fundamental of every single relationship, because you set the tone of how people treat you by the way you treat yourself, and you should treat yourself exceptionally well. You should. But you don't believe that you should, because you don't believe that you deserve it, because you don't understand your identity and your divineness. So you don't cherish yourself, so other people don't cherish you. Real simple, real easy. When you dishonor yourself, you invite other people to dishonor you, because here's the truth of a matter. A person who honors themselves would never allow a person who dishonors them to stay in their experience. A person who is an honest person who lives their life by truth will not allow a liar to sit and stay comfortably in their experience. The reason why people play in your face in your experience, because you play your own self in your experience, and that is what makes other people come into your space and treat you that way. Obedience to spiritual law is extremely important. When you understand how the laws of this universe work, you can learn how to use these spiritual laws to create the life that you truly desire. Because last time I checked, the Most High said that He would give you the desires of your heart. Be very clear that desires and your desires and what you think you want ain't the same thing. Merry Christmas. That's a gift. I don't even celebrate Christmas, but I'm joking. But just know that, okay? The second part of this success strategy, that system that's very important, is understanding the science of yourself, as well as understanding the science of everything else around you. As a woman, if you are working for a corporation, I want to tell you something, and I want you to digest what I'm telling you. I want you to digest it. And if you need to, go back and look at every employer or corporation and dissect it for yourself, okay? Corporate America does not care about women, okay? Corporate America is not set up for does not set you up for success. I don't care how high you reach on the corporate ladder. Their job is not there for you to become successful. Your job is to be suppressed and be their slave. And if you don't believe me, I'm the one having conversations with high-level CEOs at these corporations who are anxious out of their minds, who can't seem to find a healthy suitor or relationship to be able to enter into, who have all the money in the world but hate themselves. So I'm not new to this. I'm very true to it. These corporations, you should know, these corporations don't care about you. Even these school systems. See, I'm just going to go on here. If we going to go, let's go. These corporations, and we do understand that the United States of America is a corporation, which is why we have a president instead of a king. But hold on. Eat that later on. But these corporations don't care about you, and these school systems don't really care about you, because if they did, they would teach us the science of ourselves while we were in biology class. Why is it that they didn't tell us that we have 4 phases in our menstrual cycle? Why is it that they didn't tell us that each one of these phases have an impact, because we need to eat a certain kind of way on these phases? Why did they tell us that when we don't eat in these phases, it causes imbalance in our endocrine system, what people like to refer to as your chakras, and it throws you out of balance? And how about some of us have been so imbalanced since we were 11, like myself, we've had irregular periods for 20 years, but we didn't really know what was going on, because we didn't know that they had the menstrual cycle, the follicular cycle, the ovulation cycle, and the luteal cycle. So I didn't really know that I should be resting during the menstrual cycle, because that sets the tone for the rest of the phases in the cycle. And because I don't understand that these things are important, because these things help break down my chemical energy, which is what my body runs off, because your whole body is a circulatory system, from the way you digest to your circulatory. So everything is basically going around and around and around. And when things aren't going right, they're going haywire. They're going haywire. And so you think you're moody. You think you got cramps. You think you're PMS. And when in reality, you are not in sync with your natural rhythm. And of course, your body is going to react, because the body does not attack you. Your heart. See, let's get into this. Why would God the most high creator, great architect of all things, put a heart in your body that would attack you. The heart defends itself. The heart defends itself just like your immune system defends itself when foreign objects come in. You know what's a foreign object? Stress. You know what stress does to the body? Breaks it down, causes weight gain, pushes you towards diabetes, ruins your liver, causes you to have further cramps. You know what else does that? Long-term resentment. See, these corporations don't care about us. They never cared about us to teach us that we are to work with our bodies, not against it. They told you take Midol. They told you to wear chemical pads that made things even worse. These folks don't care about you. Now that we have that out the way, it's up to you to understand the science of yourself, because these people ain't gonna tell you. They ain't finna tell you the truth. So you need to be working on getting in sync with your cycle, because when you understand the science of yourself and your feminine design, then it's easier for you to choose a mate from the masculine design, because you're operating from a balanced state. See, some of y'all choosing partners out of imbalance. You think your hormonal imbalance only stops at you having fibroids, sis? You think it only stops at that? Oh no, it impacts the way you think, baby. It impacts the way you choose, sweetheart. See, all of this ain't no small thing. You know, and what happens, and I'm just saying, what happens to a society of women when they are imbalanced, when they are emotionally unregulated, and they are needy? They are the easiest ones to become slaves. Because how is it that we are sitting at the top education-wise? How is it that we are the number one dollar spending community? And I'm speaking about black women here. But we are the sickest of them all. All that education and no applicable wisdom in sight. All them degrees. And I'm talking to somebody who is degreed up too. And I'm talking to you as somebody who spent 20 years hormonally imbalanced. And I am telling you, these corporations don't care about you as somebody who's to be 90 pounds heavier, had an irregular cycle for 20 years, did the work the Most High told me to, regulated my cycle in 6 months against everything those people said. Cycle been coming consistently for the last 7 years. As soon as I detached from that corporate sector, everything shifted. They set you up to be a slave, baby. And just because you have the title of CEO or whatever, you are just the head slave in charge. So be very clear that it's so important for you to understand the science of yourself, so you can understand how you operate chemically, so you can choose well. Because if you don't understand how you operate chemically and you're off balance, and you choose a man who is equally off balance, because that's all you can choose, because you attract what you are. You call in you. You are calling in you. So when you take your chemically imbalanced stuff and you choose someone else who has an imbalance, and y'all get together, and when two bad chemicals get together, like in true science and chemistry, it blows up in your face. Then you want to wonder why. And some of us are creating children in the midst of imbalance. And that's crazy work. That's selfish as hell. That's self-centered as hell. We are creating children in explosions. That's what we're doing when you don't understand the science of yourself, and so that you can understand that how you are connected to everything else around you. When you understand the science of yourself, then you can understand how you are connected to every single thing around you. You'll stop allowing people to tell you that certain things are witchcraft, and you will come out of religion and get relationship for yourself and really start reading scripture for yourself, and the Most High will start revealing patterns to you and mysteries to you like he does for the rest of us. All you got to do is tap in. It's already in you. All you have to do is tap into it. But you need to understand the science of yourself so that you can understand the science of everything else around you. That's number 2. Number 3, and this is what I'm going to tap into today, knowing your personal psychology so that you don't repeat it. I know you think you better than your mama because you got more degrees and you got more money and you've been to therapy, and she ain't been to therapy and she's still stuck in her trauma. You know, we love to use these buzzwords right now: trauma, therapy, all this type of stuff, right? You still are orange that came from that orange tree. And backed into a corner with heavy pressure, if you haven't done your real work, your mama gonna come out of you. Because regardless of what you think, sweetheart, we are what we come from. Until we start doing our inner work to throw certain things in the trash and to make the determination of the things that we need to keep, you are just like them. Okay? You are just like them. You are no better than them. So walking around here with this unforgiveness in your heart, thinking that you're going to ooze feminine energy, is insanity. Because feminine energy comes from a place of freedom and flexibility. And how free and flexible can you be when unforgiveness coats your bones? And unforgiveness makes you a slave to sickness, but that's another conversation. Better check out the link between unforgiveness and cancer. See, these things are not just coming up. You poison your body with the hate you have for the people who reared you. You poison your soul. You poison your spirit first. Then it just matriculates down to your body, to your bones. Don't believe me? One of the certifications that I have is that I'm an energetic psychology practitioner. And what that looks like is I study emotions on a cellular level. So I can tell you certain emotions and how they impact you. Like I can tell you when you worry and you got anxiety, when you worried about the outcome and you worried about why you can't control the situation, I can tell you that you are messing up your spleen. And your spleen is responsible for the quality control. That's the quality control vessel in your body. That is a huge part of your immune defenses. So when you worry, that energy in motion goes to your bone marrow. It goes deep. This is science. But hey, do what you want to do. When you worry, it goes down deep to the bone marrow. So much so into the bone marrow that the bone marrow starts to release T stem cells. Those T stem cells go to your spleen. Where your spleen was the quality control, it is now a host of inflamed cells. And because it's now a house filled with inflamed cells, it cannot do its job of making sure that the blood running through your body is quality blood instead of the bad blood. And because of that slowing down, it slows everything else down within your body. Next thing you know, because of that anxiety and that stress and all of that, they're diagnosing you with IBS. They're diagnosing you with IBS. Now you got digestion issues. But what they don't tell you is that when anxiety hits your bones and your spleen gets that, you develop this thing. I think it's called it's like a splenic something. It's something. I can't remember the last part. But what that does is that's a form of IBS. So when you go to the doctor, there's a huge connection between IBS and anxiety. And for those who have digestion issues, how's your anxiety? Yeah. Because that's the root of that, right? Because it's your anxiety that got you stressed like that has you eating like that has you overexerting like that has you all over the place like that. And it breaks your body down. It breaks your body down. That's what happens when you carry things within the body. So when I tell you, know your personal psychology so that you don't repeat it, stop thinking you're better than the folks that raised you. Release the unforgiveness within you so that you don't become a sick vessel. Because it happens. It's happening every day, B. I'm just here to tell you. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into it, because that's the aspect that I'm going to be speaking about, which is the psychological aspect. Y'all going to see me reading from my notes in my iPad. So we're going to be talking about, again, decoding your feminine psychological blueprint, which is basically your essence within. Like I said, this live is for women who are seriously feeling like they're disconnected from their true selves. They're experiencing challenges maybe in their relationships. They're dealing with self-doubt. You're struggling with mood swings, emotional imbalance, all these things. We're going to address it in these 3 points, because there are 3 cycles that a woman goes through psychologically that I don't think that we pay attention to, and we should start paying attention to, because it literally is the blueprint to supporting you and shifting your psychological experience. there are so many women who are living in mental torment. A lot of women come to work with me that have anxiety, and I end up really supporting them in bringing that down. I used to suffer with heavy anxious feelings, and I had to learn techniques and different things to be able to get myself in a space of not being anxious. Because like I tell you, being anxious, to be honest, is not just something that pushes you to sickness, but it literally is a curse. Being anxious curses you, and it curses your body. It starts as a spiritual curse because you're instructed to be anxious for nothing. You're told that you're going to be taken care of. So what are you really worried about? So you put yourself in position of worry, and then you weaken your body by that worry. See, one thing I respect and I love about the Most High, may not tell you exactly why you shouldn't do a thing, but will at least tell you that you should do it, you should not do a thing, because there's going to be consequences. And so the consequences of worrying is that worrying weakens your immune system. It weakens your spleen, which is one of the most important organs in defending things happening within your body. So you really have to start paying attention to the ways you are cursing yourself spiritually, the way they are manifesting mentally, and how they are showing up physically. Because why? Again, belief impacts the biology, and biology influences the way you behave. Every single time. It ain't gonna miss, okay? Now, so let's go through the first cycle that's very important in your feminine psychological blueprint. And the first part of that is your inner child. The first cycle that we go through coming here is the inner child cycle, okay? So the inner child cycle is that time frame, and I like to say it's like your core year. So I would say for sure it's dealing more so with from the time that you got here all the way up until age 10. Okay? Around 10 and 11. All right? So when you think about that cycle, that is the time frame where you are being programmed the most. Years 1 through 10. You are being programmed by those who are rearing you their words. You are being programmed by your environment. You are being programmed by the actions that the people are taking around you who are rearing you. Okay? This is where your program starts. When you understand the importance of your inner child, the reason why you should understand and be clear on the importance of your inner child is because understand that your childhood experiences shape your beliefs and your behaviors. Those are the shapers of your beliefs and your behaviors, your inner childhood, your childhood experience. So if you ever want to try to figure out certain things, you're going to have to go back to that cycle. And see, some of us have had so many things to happen in that cycle that we've repressed a lot of things from that cycle. So it's hard to go back to that space. I've had to work with women to support them in going back to that space because it's very difficult. They've told me I have a blur here, and I've been able to work with them through that blur because I used to be a person as well that would repress things, you know, horrible childhood memories or whatever the case may be. And so I support queens in being able to come out of that because that cycle of your childhood is very, very important. It's very important because we have to explore how your past programming is influencing your present actions and behaviors. I was having a conversation with my sister earlier today, and my sister is 14 years younger than me. And so and I'm also the oldest daughter. So we have very different experiences with my mother. When my mother had me, she was 23. When my mother had my sister, she was 36, somewhere between 37 and 38. So, and by that time, she had already that's her third child. So she got a hang of it. She know what's going on. The things that she felt like she couldn't give me, she was giving to her. So by the time my sister got here, stability was on lock. But my first 10 years were not that stable. I was born in Guam. Okay. I moved to California when I was 3, lived there for a while. Then we moved to New Orleans. Then we lived in New Orleans for a while. Then we moved to Memphis. I did not get into a stable into a school until my 5th grade year of school. So we have me doing ... for 9 years. And so to look at the pattern now, I am very great at creating internal stability, creating things for myself, but I currently am a digital nomad. So what am I doing? Every time you see me, I'm somewhere else. Every time you see me, I'm a part of that, okay, comes from my programming. Nobody told me, let's move around and do this. I did and continue to do a form of what I experienced and the actions that I saw growing up. Now, that used to manifest in a very dangerous and damaging way for me when I was not in alignment with myself. And that just shows how you can take something, a lack of stability during your core years, that showed up in my 20s as a serious lack of stability. I couldn't get myself together. I couldn't seem to make decisions. I couldn't discern well. All these different things because I lacked stability, but stability starts as an inside job. And in order for you to create external stability, one has to be internally stable. Okay? And so I had to do my work to be able to create stability so I could stop being all over the place, so I could stop having all these things happening. Now, I have shifted that narrative from, oh, these years where they weren't stable, this and that, I'm not stable, I'm not this, to I'm shifting that experience to I love traveling, I love spontaneity, but I can just do it with responsibility instead of living risky. I can do it in a way that's rewarding. It's okay that I want to move around and be in different countries or be in different cities and do that. That's totally fine. As long as I'm internally stable and clear about what I'm doing. So I was able to shift from the mindset of being all over the place, because in my formal years, that was my programming, to shifting that programming to elevating me versus putting me in a position to descend or to be low vibrational. So it's very important to understand, okay, your inner child, because that's where your program starts. And if you haven't updated the program, if you haven't done the work to do that, then you're going to struggle because you haven't healed your childhood wounds and you haven't released the limited beliefs. Because the reason why I couldn't get it together in my 20s and why I kept all that weight on me and why I was doing all those things is because all I kept hearing in my mind, according to the programming that I was told growing up, because not only were we all over the place, but I was a person that always lost my keys. So I was told as a child, you're so irresponsible. You're so irresponsible. You're so irresponsible. So what did I hear in my 20s? Every time I did something, it was like, you're so irresponsible. You're so irresponsible. You're so irresponsible. I'm literally saying this to myself, and I'm constantly being in a state where I'm lacking stability because of the belief that I am not responsible. And anybody who know, if you the oldest child growing up, baby, you come in with responsibilities if there are other children. So what we talking about? You come in with other responsibilities, but that's how dangerous a lie is when it's believed. It will have you being stagnant for years. Bad programming will have you stagnant for years. Bad programming will have you out here not living the life that you really want to live. Believing that all men are trash is why you keep attracting garbage men. Because that is the reality. That's the programming. And if you don't shift the programming by healing those wounds and releasing those limited beliefs, you will be stuck. I'm going to give you the best example I can. It's literally like your iPhone right now running on the programming of the first iPhone that came out in 2008. Baby, it's 2024. You are still, it's 2024, and some of us are still running on programming from 1984. And wondering why things are not working. Wondering why things are not ascending or excelling. Because you are still running off the programming from 1996, baby. You still running off the programming when your mama got frustrated and called you ugly and you believed her, because truth, her voice is loud, but that's the same voice that's saying you ugly, which is why you settle for men who treat you like you are that. When it tells you in scripture that you are beautifully and wonderfully made, you believe the one in which you were formed in her womb instead of the one that created you, that knows you innermostly. And that's where you got it messed up. Because humans gon' human even if they your people. Even if they your mama. Humans gon' human. You were formed in your mother's womb. She didn't create you. She knows you according to how she reared you. She doesn't know your innermost thoughts and your innermost workings. You listen to the one that created you. Not the creations of the creator, and not the creations of the creation. Not a creation of the creations. Society is a creation of man. Man is a creation of the creator. Period. You listen to the one that created you. If the battery is broke, I'm not finna talk to the battery. If the battery is broke, I'm not going to talk to the battery. I'm going to call the man who made the battery. It only makes sense. Because what is talking to the battery actually going to do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So you have to understand that whatever programming that you are running on, it is showing up in your actions, your behaviors, your lack of consistency, your lack of discipline, the relationships you are choosing, your friendships. My mom used to always say, show me your friends and I'm going to show you you, baby. I take it up a notch. Show me your man and I'm going to tell you about you. Show me your man and I'm going to tell you about you. Put your man in front of me, and if your man does not honor you, beloved, it tells me everything I need to know about you. Because women who honor themselves would never partner or come under suitors or submit under partnerships of any kind where they were not being honored. At minimum. Minimum. But you don't respect yourself because you were disrespected as a child. And you still run on that programming of being disrespected, so you disrespect yourself by inviting these people into your experience. And it's all based on how you see yourself, because you think you ugly. See what a liar do? Countries have built prisons and put people in jail for lies. That's how dangerous it is to believe a lie. Laws were created and systematic things were set up to block out certain people due to lies. Towns were burned down with families and children in them due to lies that were believed. You need to be fact checking everything in 2024. And I ain't talking about going to Google. You need to be going to the one that created you, because y'all put too much faith and trust in everything else but the one that created you, and that's wild work. That's really wild work. So the first cycle that has to be addressed psychologically when it comes down to this feminine blueprint, which accesses and supports you in understanding and cracking the code to your feminine design, starts with your programming, baby. It starts with your childhood. It starts there. Okay? The second cycle, inner teen. So now we finna turn up a bit. Because the teenage experience, like I talked about in one of my videos recently, the teenage experience is a unique experience. Because it's an experience where your body is shifting and changing and you're not really understanding yourself. It's a time period when you figure out that your parents really ain't perfect, and them folks don't, some of the stuff, they don't know what they're talking about. It's when you start acting out the programming that has been put in your face. See, this is when teenagers perform. That's what people don't realize. When people are trying to figure out, why is my teenager acting out? Teenagers perform according to their programs. They perform according to their programs. Period. Every single time. You have to start paying attention to your teenage years and what influences Well, let me say this. Let me say this a different way. When you were a teenager, that period as well is based on understanding your identity or learning your identity as well as expressing yourself. If you grew up in a household like I did, my inner teen experience, my mother was hella strict. Okay? Told you I'm the oldest daughter. Mother was hella strict and extremely overly protective. So I couldn't really go a lot of places. I couldn't really do a lot of things. It wasn't no sleeping over nobody's house. And a lot of stuff to this day I have great appreciation for. At the time I was pissed. Okay? I was pissed. And for a very long time, I felt like I had to live up to this image, and who I wanted to be or express myself was shunned. And during that inner teen cycle, or during that teen cycle, I learned to shut off my authentic self. I learned to put myself on the back burner. I learned to serve other people and put them first and put me last. I learned that I was doing too much. I learned that it didn't take all of that. It was a very difficult experience being a teenager, because I didn't know who I was, and I wasn't able to fully express what I felt. Because guess what? You better not say nothing, because if you have an opinion, it's seen as disrespectful. If we see an opinion of a teenager, it's dishonorable and it's disrespectful. Sometimes we definitely can protect overly. There's a fine line between being overly protective and control. They all are coming from the same place though, which is fear. Mothers who are overprotective come from a place of fear because they don't want nothing to happen to their babies. But the reality of the situation is that you can't protect your babies from any and everything. But what you can do is send them out there with spiritual protection by you being rooted and grounded where you need to be, and you being on your spot. You standing on your business. That's how you cover them when they go out there to experience and deal with the rest of the world. But trying to control them does nothing but, or be overprotective of them, does nothing but make them rebel. And that's what I did, baby. I was sneaking out, getting all the whoopings, baby, because I was sneaking out. I'm definitely the child that got toe up the most. Okay, I'm definitely the one. It was a raining joke. My mother's birthday just passed, and I sent in her card. I wrote one of the cards. It was like it said, no, the front of the card said, "I know you said don't make a big deal about your birthday," and then on the inside it said, "But when have I ever done what I was told?" And my mama laughed and said, "I know that's right," because I've always been one. Oh, okay, we're not doing this. After a while, I got tired of all them no's and all that. I can't do this and I can't do this, so I started bucking the system. And that's when my rebellion came in. And for a long time, I would rebel again. I started the process in my 20s. If I felt like someone was trying to box me in or control me or tell me what to do, I was rebelling against them, even if it was for my good, because I was still stuck in the performing stage of life, even up until my 20s, even up until age 33. I literally spent 21 years as a 12-year-old. 13-year-old on the inside. Not fully expressing myself, not being authentic, not doing the things that I really feel like are true to me, submitting to societal pressures, feeling like I have to be a certain kind of way, not embracing my power and my authenticity. And when I look back on my life, especially when I was a kid, when you really think back, especially kids who have gifts and who operate from a space of wisdom, who are in alignment with the Most High, you realize that you always had these gifts, and adults used to be playing you because you were a child, and they always used to tell you stay in a child's place. But see, I always had a knowing. I've always had this knowing on the inside of me. I always felt when something was going to happen, and then I knew it was going to happen. And people would try to play me because I was a kid and be like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about," and that would piss me off too. So when I was in that space, I was just like, forget it. I'm just going to buck the system and go against all y'all. But I was harming myself. And I'm about to tell y'all something so real. Me being that frustrated and bucking the system took me to the point to where I remember I got so upset because my mom had said something to me one time, and it made me mad, and I went and got a master's degree just to prove a point. I went and positioned myself to get myself to go to school just because I was pissed, just because you pissed me off. So I'm going to go exert myself, spend money that I technically don't have just to prove a point to you because I'm trying to rebel. See, that's how strong the performance had got. Because even with the performance of me bucking the system with her, the truth of the matter was I wanted her approval. That was the truth. I just wanted my parents' approval. And because I wasn't getting that, I was further bucking the system. But I was harming myself, seeking to be approved. If you made it to this earth, you are approved. If you've been told that you're supposed to be doing something, you are qualified. Stop allowing people to tell you things when they don't see the whole picture. And at the time, she wasn't trying to be no kind of way. She just was operating according to her programming because she grew up different, so she wanted to protect. And I can't rationalize that as an inner teen. I feel like you boxing me. So I start acting out, performing based on the programming that I have. That's what happens. The programming that you get during childhood shows up in the performance of the teenager. It shows up. And then the most important piece of it that you got to understand is the inner woman, which is who you are probably now. And your inner woman at this point, if you aren't identifying these reoccurring patterns, see, now you living in pattern city. Now you keep choosing the same man in different bodies. Now you keep cycling jobs. Now you keep cycling hustles. Now you keep cycling friends. Now you keep going through this cycle of having money and not having no money. And you can't figure out what's going on. You done went from your programming to performing. These are now your patterns, beloved. And when you sit in these patterns for a long time, they create these beautiful things called seasons. And now these things become, you have start having seasons of consistent stress and lack and this and that over and over and over again. And guess what? Now that these are your seasons, this is now the cycle of your life. Congratulations. We've arrived. This is how you are repeating the cycles of your life. It is your programming. It is the performance. Now we are here at the patterns. And some of us have sat in these patterns. The older you get, those patterns go from seasons to cycles. And this is why you see 50-year-olds out here acting like they 30s trying to reclaim it and get it. This is why you see our elders who are 50 and 60 out here not acting like elders because they're constantly repeating the same cycles. Baby, they're out here talking about slim, thick. They out here too, the 50 and the 60-year-olds, because they're not doing their work because they've settled with the cycle. No matter how toxic it is, they've settled with the cycle. And I'm telling you, it's important when you get to the space of your inner woman, which is the adult aspect of yourself, to start identifying these reoccurring patterns and these cycles in your relationships and your life choices. And then learning how to transform those negative patterns by upgrading the programming so that you have more pathways for growth and fulfillment as a woman. Because here's the thing, the more you continue to run off the old programming, the more patterns you're going to have in that space. The seasons are going to get harder as you age, and the cycles are going to continue until you eventually get sick. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. When you don't understand the design, your feminine design has a psychological aspect to it, which is based on your programming, the performances, and your patterns, because that creates your seasons and your cycles in your life. And all of those things start in childhood. In childhood. Some of us, like I said, we grown children. Grown children. To be grown by definition means to mature. There are a lot of adults out here. Not a lot of grown folks. FYI. There are a lot of adults. Legally, when you turn 18, you become an adult. But to be grown is to mature. To mature requires a process. To mature requires discipline and discernment. See, when you got discipline and discernment, you can be as delusional as you want. I totally created a whole business on being delusional. But it worked because I am disciplined and I am discerning. That's why it worked. Okay? So we have to understand that this is a process. So, again, the psychological blueprint, those aspects, your inner child, that inner teen and that inner woman, y'all should be working synonymously. But see, some of y'all can't heal your relationship with your inner child because your inner child doesn't trust you and there's no rapport built. Ooh, excuse me. There's no rapport built. Children require rapport. Building a relationship with your inner teen requires trust. You ain't got that with them, which is why they run amok in your life. And if you don't think they run amok in your life, let me help you out. When the last time you cussed somebody out? When the last time you went off on somebody because they had you messed up? Because that's your inner child. That's your inner child that used to get shut down when she was a kid. Now she got to talk over everybody because nobody's going to talk over me. Because when I was little, they used to talk over me. They used to make me feel small. I'm not letting nobody make me feel like that. And it's about to happen right now. And now you're going off throwing a tantrum because that's what children do. They throw tantrums. That's what they do. That's what they do. They throw tantrums. Especially when they don't get their way. What do you mean you're not? What do you mean no? Why aren't you calling me? Like what? It's giving childhood abandonment issues. Little Miss Anxious Attachment Style. It's giving your inner child is throwing a tantrum. It's giving you're clingy because you don't give your inner child the attention she needs. Therefore, she craves and attaches herself to anyone who will affirm, acknowledge, and accept her. Even if it's going to be a demonic experience, she won't it. Because she just wants something. Anything. Because you just want to feel something, right? Right. Right. And that inner teen performing. Little Miss Code Switch. Little Miss act like somebody different when you're at corporate. Little Miss act like you're somebody different when you're around certain people. Little Miss act different when you're with that man. How's your breathing with that mask on? Because I think we all remember what it's like to have to wear a mask every day. And we remember how hard it is to breathe the longer you wear that mask. So how's your breathing? How's your breathing at work? How's your breathing in that relationship that you're walking on eggshells because you don't want him to say anything to you? You don't want to rock the boat. Call me Aaliyah. Call me Aaliyah in Fifth Wall We because we're going to rock the boat. Rock the boat and we're going to rock the boat. Yeah, me. We doing it all. Lil Miss don't keep no peace. Lil Miss going to address what needs to be addressed in an honorable way because she is firm. She is feminine, but she is also firm, beloved. So we're going to rock this boat, okay? You not being authentic is the reason why your inner teen is protesting anything that you try to attempt to complete because you're not being real. And your inner teen already knows that you're not going to be able to sustain whatever it is you're trying to attract because you're trying to attract it under false pretenses. That man, that position, that money, that friend, that experience. You're not going to be able to sustain or manage that because you're being fake. And your inner teen don't want to be fake. So she squats on your wanting to complete something. What discipline? She rebels. I'm tired. I don't want to do that. Next thing you know, you tired. I don't want to do that. Inner teen sat on down. Soon as you start talking in a different tone that you normally don't even talk in because you're trying to prove a point to people, your inner teen like, here she go with this. We can't even stand up. You are not being authentically yourself, and therefore the things that you are attracting are slipping from your hands, or you're not attracting the experiences that you really desire and that you really want. They are repelled by you. They are repelled by you because of your lack of discipline. The lack of discipline. Baby, you won't even, you call your baby to come in there and tell him to hand you the remote. You won't even get up off the couch and get the remote. You about to call them churn. And you going to use the excuse that somebody did that to you, so you just want to do it to somebody. Baby, that's lazy as hell. Point blank, period, the end. You don't have the discipline to even do that. Your inner teen and the things that you are trying to shun and hold back is the very thing that will push you forward. You hiding the fact that there are some quirks and different things about you. If you would take ownership of your uniqueness, you would ascend and expand and enlarge your territory. Y'all be asking God to enlarge our territory, and y'all the scariest people ever. You scared to stand up, scared to be seen, scared to be heard, scared to be understood, scared that you're going to be misunderstood. You're worried about everything but what you need to be worried about, which is yourself, beloved. Which is yourself. The inner teen and the inner child out of whack, and you wonder why the woman is off balance. The inner woman is off balance, why she has no peace. And who could have peace in a house like that with all that noise? Because I'm churn loud. The inner child screaming and having tantrums. And the other one, baby, knocking holes in your walls. And it's all because you don't have order. It's all because you lack structure, standards, stability, and scheduled playtime for your inner child, because you don't tire her out. You don't know what to do with her. It's all because you don't allow your teen to have the freedom and opportunity to be able to be her authentic self, so that you really can exude and attract the way that you're supposed to. But no. You want to keep being anxiety-driven, stressed, overworked, imbalanced, in piss-poor relationships, in horrible friendships, wondering how you're figuring this out every single day. Does not have to be that. Okay? If you resonated with the things that I'm speaking about and you're not clear on how to operate from a full space, because you're not really connected to your inner child, and you're not really connected, and you don't have a relationship with your inner teen, I have two things for you. Number one, my strong recommendation is going to be the Soul Rebirth Bundle. You can get that for $222. You can get it with Klarna Affirming Afterpay. In that Soul Rebirth Bundle, this is what you're going to get. I just released the Playground of Potential, which is a inner child and inner teen toolkit, connection toolkit. That's going to come in the Soul Rebirth Bundle. That's the first thing. So you're going to have that. So you're going to get that. The second thing that you're going to get from the Soul Rebirth Bundle that teaches you how to transform your life, how to really align so that your psychological blueprint is clear and you're able to choose well and to create better cycles for yourself, okay? So in this, the first thing that you're going to get, as well as this, is you're going to get the Manifest a New Version of Yourself. So in that particular class, it's going to support you in learning how to create a new version of yourself. And it does not take this long. But before you even get into that, you're going to have to get the Radiant Roots Reparenting Journey for Feminine Souls Masterclass, which also comes into that. In that masterclass, this is what you're going to get, because you're going to see me reading. And you can click the link in my bio to be able to access the link. It will tell you. These are the things that you're going to get. You're going to be able to reset your life, renew your purpose, rewire your actions. And you're going to have transformational exercises in the Rewire, Renew Masterclass. And that's the one where you're manifesting a new version of yourself. When it comes down to the Radiant Roots workshop, you're going to get into the inner child reparenting. You have to heal your relationship with your inner child and then build your relationship with your inner teen. Heal, build. Heal, build. If you don't get with the little, don't expect to get with the big. And so in the Radiant Roots workshop, you're learning how to create emotional stability. You're learning how to set nurturing standards. You're learning healing techniques to support you in doing that. Okay? And I have several testimonials of different women on that particular page. When you click on the Soul Rebirth Bundle, Transform, Align, and Thrive, okay, you will literally see all of these things, okay, up there. Hi, I'm new here, curious, is this Christian based? So this is what I'll tell you. I've had this question to come to me before. Everything that I teach is rooted in scripture, science, and psychology. I am a believer. You won't hear me refer to myself as a Christian because I'm not religious based. I am a believer that believes that the Most High sent the Messiah to give his life for me, and for everyone else, that is my belief. And everything that I do is rooted in the scripture. And it literally, what I love the most is that the Most High has allowed me to be able to see in scripture certain patterns, and it's through those patterns that I'm able to teach women to apply these things to their life. So yes, it is rooted in scripture, it is backed up by science, and it is also backed up by psychology, because those are the three elements or three aspects of your femininity or your feminine design while you're here on this earth. So hopefully they answered your question and I supported you. But no, I don't refer to myself as that. I am a believer because, like I said, I'm in relationship with the Most High. I don't do religion. All right. So you can get that for $222. You can get a Klarna Affirming Afterpay. If you want the connection guide, you can get the connection guide on your own. The connection guide is $27. I'm telling you now, the connection guide has so much value in it. It's $27 right now. It's going up to $47 this week, before this week over, and today Wednesday. So it's $27 now. By Friday, it's going to be $47, because really the value of that book, that workbook, that connection guide, it really should be $247. That's what it should be. It is 45 pages of you literally being able to start the process of healing your relationship with your inner child, building your relationship with your inner teen. It's going to help you increase your discipline. It's going to help you refine your focus, and it's going to support you in this space. I bought it. It's really good. Thank you. I'm sending out messages so you guys can give me reviews, because it absolutely is amazing. It is amazing, amazing, amazing. Let me see. Let me see if I have one on my phone that I can show y'all. On my phone, on my iPad, but I can show y'all real quick so you can see, because I want you to see what you're getting in it and why it's so powerful. But yeah, baby, it's definitely going up to $47. All my folks was like, you're giving this away for $27? And if you know me, all my products, to work with me alone is thousands, okay? But all my folks was like, you gonna give all the way away? And I was like, yeah, because I really want y'all to get it. Because here's the thing, if you don't increase your focus, if you don't increase your discipline, if you don't start committing to yourself, y'all not gonna make it in this upcoming era, because nobody's going to commit to you. Nobody's going to support you. Nobody's coming to save you. So if you don't set the tone for yourself by doing your own work, it is going to be a struggle for you. Because like I said, baby, you can't outwork a robot and you can't outwit AI. So what you going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be in tune with the creator. So every single move, okay, that I make is going to be the right move. It's going to be my best move. So this is the playground of potential. Y'all excuse my little crack on my iPad. Okay. Then you have the little information about me. This is all the information that we go through in this playground of potential. Okay. So the first thing that you're going to get is that you're going to get a quiz in that's going to assess to see who needs your attention right now. If you find yourself in a state of rebellion and can't focus, you can always come back to this and take the quiz, because the quiz will show you who needs your attention right now, who needs your focus, so you can give them what you need. So there's a quiz in there first. The first section is all about understanding your inner child. It helps you define your inner child, identify the lack of focus, address your commitment issues, cultivate self-worth. And I also give you visualization activities, as well as a child connecting with fun playlist. Okay. So there's a lot of different things that's in here that you want to pay attention to, and it's activities for your inner child. The second section is all about embracing your inner teen, exploring your inner teen, understanding your root of the lack of discipline you have, getting down to the bottom of authenticity and freedom and what that looks like for you, reclaiming your authenticity, as well as an inner teen visualization exercise. You're gonna have to connect with them. If you want them to calm down so you can focus, so you can execute, so you can get these things out, you are going to have to connect with them. You are going to have to put things in place with them. It is literally your body. And I want you to hear me now. The Most High said your body is a temple. And you have 2 girls in your temple that are running amok. Get your house in order. You are the woman of the house. Get your house in order. And learn how to work with your inner child, which enhances your creativity. And learn how to work with your inner teen, which will support you in executing the things that you want to execute. There are no rules for your house, and that's why everybody running amok. There's no order, which is why your life is out of order. Because that's what happens when you let children run things. That's what happens. Okay? The third section is all about integration and growth. I'm showing you how to connect with both aspects, the teen and the child. I'm teaching you how to set the proper, connections for growth, all right? And I'm teaching you the practical steps for progress and so that you can have a great reflection and gratitude. This, baby, hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Ain't no joke. And then when you first come in, for the queen that was asking, this is the biblical explanation right here. Oh, no, that's the quiz, my bad. Let me go back. This is the biblical explanation right here. It's one of the first things you see when you come in, where I break down and I explain the source and the root, okay? Then it goes down to your quiz. Then we go down to watch the video again. Then we go down to the intent and the structure of this actual guide. And then we go into, first and foremost, the magic mirror quest. What does your little girl even look like? Okay? Let me see, TikTok host. Shoot me a DM. And I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, boo. Shoot me a DM and say me. And then I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and I'm gonna, so you can get some clarity so I point you exactly in the right direction. Okay? So you have the magic mirror quest and then you start in with your questions. You have the distraction detective challenge that helps you figure out what your distractions are and why you can't stay focused. You have the goal guardian adventure that literally takes you through these adventures. You see how cute this is? And it puts you back into a space of like your inner child. It's really fun to fill out and it's very powerful to work through. And then you also have the self-esteem superstar training. Bomb.com. Okay? For the girls who weren't told that they were pretty growing up, this one is for you because I was one of them, okay? So then you have the instructions for the visualizations. Oh, all praises to the Most High. Yay. I see the purchases coming through. So I'm so excited for y'all. Here are the activities for the inner child. See, look at the fun. Yay. I'm so glad y'all got it. Y'all, please, when the survey goes out, please tell me because everybody has got to know about how amazing this freaking tool guide is because it literally supports you. So now we go into the teen. Okay? All right. So now we go into the Teen Titan personality. Then we go into the Discipline Dynamo Challenge. Okay? Yes, this is the Playground of Potential. Now, if you get the Soul Rebirth Bundle, you get the Playground of Potential too, and you get those 2 courses. If you just get the Playground of Potential, you just get the Connection Guide. Okay? All right. So you have the Discipline Dynamo Challenge, and then which helps you increase your discipline. And this is the True Self Treasure Map. This is so fun to fill out because I think that we forget the gifts and the amazing things that are within us because adults have told us that those things wouldn't be profitable. They told us that those things, they're not going to go far. It's not going to do right. And reality, you need to remember the gems and the jewelry that you have on the inside of you because, baby, you are a treasure and you have a multitude of treasure on the inside of you, okay? And then we also have the Authenticity Adventure Roadmap. We keeping it real with ourselves, so we attract people that keep it 100% real with us and that we attract experiences that align with us and that are authentic with us and that we can choose these things, okay? And then we also have the visualization for the inner teen. which is different from the inner child. And then we have field trips for the inner teen, okay? And then we have the mix, which is the inner harmony galaxy, where we're merging all of these together, the teen and the inner child. The growth garden blueprint that positions you to grow, set the real intentions that you really want so that you can execute properly, okay? Then you have the gratitude galaxy journal, where you're writing through that as far as like your gratitude is concerned. And then I have some more information about your next steps. What are your next steps? And I have a congratulation letter with my signature on the bottom, and telling you how we can go to the next level if you are ready and prepared. So I love this freaking connection toolkit. It literally is the process that I went through to heal my inner child and build my relationship with my inner teen. And when I tell y'all we like this, we like this. I take my inner teen on field trips. The reason why I'm a digital nomad and I travel all over the place, because my inner teen needs the spontaneity, okay? She needs the spontaneity, the freedom, and the opportunity to be in the fullness of herself. And I let her have it, which is why some days, every once in a while, you'll see me with a crop top on. That's her. I'm letting her have her time, okay? If you see me and I'm pulling my hair a certain kind of way and it's like pulled in ponytails or something, totally my inner child, okay? So there are certain things I allow them to have that. Because if I don't, I'm not going to be able to focus and I'm not going to get anything done. So I take my inner child to the park, get on the swings and tire her out. I go on field trips with my inner teen to get her out the way. So when I come back, I can focus. I could do my job because I've done everything I need to do with them. Okay? So they're a huge part of me being able to create the business that I have right now. I won't even lie to you. Okay? So thank you, my love, for these gifts. So it's a beautiful thing. For those who have purchased, y'all, I just pray that y'all really, really digest the beauty of yourselves and the beauty of your inner child and the beauty of your inner teen. Because once you really like cultivate those relationships, y'all, your life changes. And you'll stop choosing, and I'm gonna be real, I'm gonna say this, you won't choose people who don't choose you, because you don't ever want to put them in a position to be hurt. Because not only are you healing your relationship with your inner child and building your relationship with your inner teen, but you are also taking responsibility for them. You're taking the responsibility for them that maybe no one ever did. You're taking the responsibility of rearing them, maybe like no one ever did. And that is going to shift your life experience, okay? What questions do you guys have for me? I'm going to take a few questions before I go. Congratulations to those, like I said, who have invested. I'm really, really excited to hear you. I've been getting great reviews about this connection toolkit. And like I said, the price is going up to $47 by Friday. So I'm giving the opportunity for people to be able to get it at $27, even at $47. Like I said, that's still a lower end price because it's so much value in there that can change your entire life. So if you can't invest $27 in and change your life, baby, I can't do nothing for you, because it costs $1,000 to work with me for an hour. So, okay. But what questions, my love? Thank you so much. All praises to the Most High. What questions do you guys have for me? I'm going to take a few questions before I get ready to go. My expertise areas are mastering your authentic feminine design, mastering your emotional responses by increasing your emotional intelligence and via cycle syncing, as well as helping women enhance their creativity so that they can make more money. So I teach women how to make their bread, how to attract opportunities, okay? That experiences that call in more things, attract better relationships, all that great stuff. Yes, it is. And I am definitely wearing a Love Spell by A Touch of Paris Cosmetics on my lips. I absolutely love it. Here it is. I actually have it sitting right here because I just put it on before I got on. I love me. Anybody who know me know I love me a good red lip, child. So this red lip is actually by Paris. As you see her on here, A Touch of Paris. I adore her. This is my favorite red, and I am definitely a red girl. And I am a woman who used to be an artist at MAC. So I have a multitude of reds, and this is definitely one of my favorites. And it's very much so long lasting. Love it. What does the $77 program have? Okay, so you're talking about the femininity series. The femininity math series is going to support you. If you get the connection tool guide and you get the femininity math series, it's going to support you if you are struggling with consistency and discipline. It is a 3-part series where I break down everything from consistency, discipline, and order. And I support you in getting into that space. So it's like well, how can I say it? It's additional support now that you've established connection with your inner child. This is going to support you in being consistent with her, being disciplined on what you said that you were going to do, okay? And keeping that house in order, okay? Because as we address consistency, discipline, and order. It's $77. It is a series that I have, and like I said, one woman, if you look at the page where it talks about femininity math, one woman was talking about how femininity math literally saved her entire March. She's like, girl, it saved me the month of March. So it really was an amazing series. And you definitely can get that. I don't know if that one's showing up in the bio, but I know if you got the kit, that's the next step that's showing you is for you to increase your consistency, your discipline, and to get things in order. So femininity math would be the next step up for those who just get the connection guide. If you get the soul rebirth bundle, you get the connection guide included in that, and you can go to, if you need further, you can go to femininity math as well. Okay, 2 words I was told by God: I needed help for years. This is mind-blowing. Oh, all praises to the Most High. Any other questions before I get ready to let y'all go? Decided to go. And what's tomorrow? Thursday? The plan is for me to go live tomorrow too. I'm thinking possibly around noon. I'm gonna work on it. We're gonna figure it out, okay? But if you're on my email list, you're gonna know. So don't even trip. But any other questions before I get ready to bounce on out of here? I'm gonna spray my magnesium and go to sleep. Okay? Thank you so much. All right, if you're not following me on YouTube, make sure that you follow me on YouTube. Click the link in the bio. So yeah, because as we know, we got some time with TikTok, but it's gonna wind on down, and I want y'all to come on over to YouTube so you can get and don't miss anything. Okay. All right, my loves. I clean like you said on your YouTube. Have me shamed. No, don't be shamed. Don't be shamed. All right, my loves, let me go ahead. I got to go. I hope that you guys have an amazing evening. Please remember that self-care is the key fundamental of every single relationship, and you set the tone of how people treat you by the way you treat yourself. You should treat yourself exceptionally well because you deserve it, okay? Grab the connection, grab the soul bundle, but rebirth bundle if you are ready and prepared to manifest a new version of yourself with the help of your inner child, because you got to start there first. Then make sure you grab that. And congratulations to all of the amazing women who've already made investments. I cannot wait to see what the return is going to be. So I leave you adieu. I hope that y'all are well this evening, and peace, y'all.